Hi, George here with another Minecraft custom project. And today we're going to be working on making a custom mob here. And for this, I'll be using Planet Minecraft. They have a great tool for actually painting in and creating custom mobs. It's very easy to use. And it's a perfect place, at least in my opinion, to make custom mobs for Minecraft. And you find that tool right up here under Minecraft. Go down to PMC Skin 3D right here. Click on this. This takes you into the skin editor. You want to go into the advanced editor right here. Normally you'll use this for making your character skins, like we have one right there. But you also can use this for creating mob skins. Go up to File, come down to New Skin, and right here, there's the model, Steve. But you can choose anything you want. There's Steve, here's Alex, and anything else. We'll go ahead and we'll do a creeper, which is right down here. But if you scroll down, there's the allay. So you can see even the new mobs are in here. We don't have the Minecraft 120 mobs yet, but those will be showing up real soon. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll just do the creeper. You can add the default texture if you want to. That kind of makes it easier sometimes. Or you can go for just a base color over here, or you can use the high definition skin. We'll do a high definition skin on this one and click on create. And there you go. The high definition skin, and I'll zoom in so you can see this right here. There's the normal pixel size right here. The high definition gives you 4 spots instead of just that 1 spot, so you can get more detail in there pretty easily. And before we start on this, I want to remind you that my channel is 100% fan supported. And if you want to help me keep on making videos here on YouTube, then a couple things that you can do for that. The first one, of course, is to subscribe. That really helps out a lot. If I can get up to 100,000 subscribers, then I can actually make some decent money here from just the YouTube ads. But I'm a long ways off still. I'm only about at 72,000 subscribers. Long way to go. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's going to help out a lot. And between now and then, you can also help out by just sending me a thanks. Just click on that little thanks button right down there, bottom right-hand corner. Send me a little thanks. That can really help me keep this channel going. Okay, let's see how this thing works. First off, you can move your view around. This is a little hand right here. Just hold down the mouse button. You can then pull this around and change your view. It lets you look underneath or up on top or onto any of the sides like that. Just kind of rotate that around. Pretty easy to do. Right-hand side over here, we can zoom in like that or zoom out. Just find the zoom that works out best for what you're working on. Now notice that you can't easily shift this up and down, but I can tilt this. So sometimes you can zoom in like that, but you may have to zoom back out to see the whole model in here. You also can look at this in the 2D mode if that's easier for you, or in a split 2D and 3D mode. And we'll go back. We'll just use this, the 3D. That's what I normally do on this. Left-hand side over here, the important beginning stuff at the bottom down here, you can show or hide the body, or just the head, or legs. If you want to work on just the head, just hide everything else like that, and there's just the head. This is really useful to get those spots that are normally kind of hidden, like underneath in here. So showing or hiding just parts of the body makes it much easier to come in and then work on the rest of your image. For instance, right down here, we have the little bottom section here. You can only really get to that if you hide the legs. And I'll show everything again right like that. And the reason why you want to actually get up in there is that the creeper can turn its head, and you can see a little bit in there if you're looking down on the creeper when it turns its head. So you want to be able to come in and paint the top part of that. Let's just hide that head. And that's this section in here. The middle part, not important, but you might as well color it anyway. But getting the outer rim around here is important. In case a creeper turns its head, you want to have those matching in color. Okay, so that's the basic way you view things in here. As you can see, it's pretty easy to do. Left-hand side, you can grab your color a couple different ways. The easy way is down here just by grabbing this little panel right here. And you can grab from your swatches right down there. Now this has just your standard swatch range. Click on this button right here, and you can make a palette from a skin if you want to. You can hide palette, restore hidden palettes. You can export your palette. So you can do a lot here with the palette. Normally though, just use this. This is just a real basic color section. Now if you don't have the colors in here that you want, you can do your colors up in here. Now the actual color is chosen inside the triangle area right in here. You can see right there, it's over here and it's all the way to that corner, and that corner is black. It's black in the blue range, but it's actually a black color. And I can prove that. I'm going to zoom in real tight here so it's easy to see this. And right now we're in draw mode, and I have the pencil here. And if I paint it like that, it comes in at that black where that dot is. Now if I went over here, put a dot up here someplace, you can see here's my new color. And if I paint in with that, there is that new color. So your color choice is in the triangle. Now to change the colors in here, grab this outer line here, and you can then move this around, and that changes the color range. So here's kind of our cyans up in here, and then here's all the different colors that are in that cyan, all your values in here for your cyan basic color. And then there is that color right there. You can also change your color view here from RGB to HSL or HSV. It just changes the color settings down here. Or you can change it by the amount of red, amount of green, amount of blue, or even by a hexadecimal number. If you happen to have a number, you can just copy it down here, and then you have that. You also can choose a color right here, color picker tool here, or right there, same thing. So I wanted to have this green right there, click on that, and that then sets this at that green color. Down here, you can adjust the opacity of this. If I made this whole thing transparent in here, you can do that also by using the eraser tool, which is right here. Let me just come in and I'll erase that. And I'm now seeing through in behind. You can see that right there. That transparency is going to go away. And that's because we don't actually have transparency on this particular model. This will fill in with black on the final model. So you can't get transparency on any of these models. Don't even bother with that. It's not going to work. You also can use the Control-Z keyboard shortcut to undo your last step. So that's very useful. Okay, up here, we have different brush shapes. We have just a pixel brush, and that will fill in one spot at a time. We go back here to the pencil tool, and I can do one pixel at a time like that. I use this most of the time. This one is a square brush, and it paints in big squares like that. Just a faster way to paint in. This is a circle brush, and it gives you kind of that flower shape in there. Just a little more random on that one. And a triangle, same idea. Or you can use this paint bucket tool, and it paints in or fills in whole areas of color. So just find a matching area and click into that. It then fills that area. Okay, down here are different drawing modes. Your normal mode here is the pixel brush mode. I'm gonna go back to this pixel brush. This one is going to give you varying intensities. So I'm gonna choose a bright green here. And then as I brush, notice how it gives me randomness in there. It's a real easy one to use if you want to build in some of that randomness, and I tend to use this one quite a bit. This over here is going to give you randomness in the hue, which is your color, and the saturation and the lightness. So it's just more random. So this is less random, and this is more random. We can then choose how much shift to make. Let's do a 44% shift here, saturation shift, and a lightness shift. And then as I come in here, it's going to be changing those colors based upon these settings right down here. If I move my shift this way, notice down here we have this color bar that is kind of moving around. This shows you where your color shift is. So anything in here that's green right now is going to be into the blues or dark blues. If I go further, it's going to push us into the dark blues and the magentas right in here. You can see that. There we go. There's our magentas, for instance, on that section. So you can use this to shift your color or change your color to something else. And it's just a real easy way to come in and put variation into your model real fast this way. And I'll use the Control-Z keyboard shortcut. We can back out of some of those steps just like that. But most of the time, I'll just stick with the pixel paintbrush. Now you have a few options down here. You can adjust your opacity like that. It doesn't actually change the color. What it does is it mixes or blends your current color with the color underneath. So it's a real nice way to kind of tone things. Let's say I wanted to bring in a little bit of bluishness in here. I'll come down to a blue setting like that. Have it down at 41%. And it just adds a little bit of bluishness in there. So you can use this to tint your colors that you already have. Normally I'll leave that just at the top. The mirror allows you to copy from one to another place. For instance, I can copy across all the limbs. Now this is going to depend upon which model you're using. Some models this will work with and some models this will not work with. Okay, below that we have brush stroke in here. We have constant, which puts in a solid color. Let me bring the body back in again. And let's just turn off that mirroring. I don't want to have that going on. There we go. But you can either do a constant, just solid color like that, or you can build it up. So the more you brush in, the more color it builds in. It's just a real subtle thing. And when you're working with painting, normally you can paint across sides like that, just right across that corner there. If you do surface lock, it's going to lock that to just the one spot. So it helps you limit your colors. You don't accidentally paint across sides if you want to have that just locked in on just the one section. So you have that surface lock. Normally I ignore that one. Let's just do a Control-Z and back out of some of those things again. There we go. Just Control-Z out of all that stuff. So that's all of your basic tools in here. There are a few more settings up here under Edit, and there's an Undo and Redo, and some View settings in here. If you need to, you can reset your tools and brushes right there. Sometimes that is useful. And Undo, Redo right up here. I just normally just use that Control-Z keyboard shortcut. It's just faster for me. Alright, so that's the basics on how to actually use this brush tool. It's pretty easy to do, as you can see. Let's just bring our head back in again here. Let's have some fun on this one. I'm going to hide the legs and let's hide that body. And that gets the head in the middle of the screen, making it easier to work on. And don't forget, hold outside and pull around like that. You can then work on your different sides. And let's do kind of a variation on my Grim Creeper in here. The first thing I want to do is to darken down the overall skin. And what I like to do is just to grab a black, which is just right up here. Here's our black. You can either go to your darkest corner in here on this triangle, or just come down here and click on the black button right here. So our color here is black. Let's now come down to opacity, set this down at about 27%. And notice how that just darkens things down by about that amount. Maybe a bit more. Let's try up here at about 40% right there. 39 is pretty good. And that just darkens things down. So it's a really easy way to darken your model down if that's what you want to do. And you want to just brush over the whole model like this. Now the black parts will be staying black, so I can just leave those as is. Notice that doesn't make the parts I've already gone over any darker. So it's pretty easy to come in and then just brush this down and darken the whole model up without having to paint in all those different colors and so forth. So it's a real easy way to quickly darken things down. Just grab this out here, pull this around. And I'll do this for all sides. If you want to, you can go for a larger brush size in here. Let's make this width 4x4. There we go, real large brush size. This goes real fast this way. And let's get all that done. And we'll get all 4 sides just real quick using our big brush. There we go. And over here. And of course, we'll be going in and doing the same thing for the top and the bottom right here. And I think a darker creeper actually looks better. It's just my personal opinion. And get this part right down in here. There we go. And spin it around till we see the front, which is right there. Okay, now I want to have it kind of a white coloration in here. So I'm going to change the color to white. This comes down to just kind of a light gray, I think, on that one. Let's come back down to our regular brush with the regular width and height right there. Just 1 by 1 is just 1 pixel. You can see right there. Bring the opacity all the way up. But I want to vary my intensity here. So click on our vary intensity. And then as I paint along, you can see here how it's painting in that basic gray color, but it's giving me variations on that. I'm going to come right down to the eyes, and we'll fix those a little later on. I'm just leaving those there just so I have something to work with. I'm not trying to be exact on this at all. And I'm leaving one little space around the outside there. And then we'll come back and we'll do something on that mouth also in here in just a second. So here's our basic coloration. Just a nice randomness. Let's now switch this over to black again. And I don't want to have this varying. Go back to the regular pixel, and I'm going to be making these eyes a lot bigger. Just like that. And we'll bring this up to here. There you go, much bigger eyes. And I'll do the mouth kind of like that. Just kind of a mean looking mouth in there. And maybe I'll vary this just a little bit. I'll bring the corners down so it's kind of a frowning look on them. And let's go back to that white coloration, or just a light gray. And I'm going to take out just a couple of those spots right there, just a little bit of variation on the one eye. Okay, so there's our face on that, looking pretty good. Let's now bring our body in, go over where it says visible parts. Let's bring that body back in again. I'm going to hide the head so I can just see the body. And I want to fix this a little bit. So I'll use the eyedropper tool. I'll grab one of my basic colors in here. There we go. And let's go over here, and we're going to be changing the intensity of that. And that'll give us some variation. I'm just going to come in here and just kind of paint over those spots that we were experimenting on. There we go. Just a little bit like that. Get some variation happening in here. Okay, good enough. Let's now make this a lot darker. So same thing, go back to the black brush and go back to our regular brush here. And then opacity, we had that at about 40. There it is. And let's make our brush size bigger. Okay, let's come up to that 4 that we're using. So same trick, I'm just going to be using this to make the skin a lot darker. And let's paint that out on all of the sides. You can even paint like that if it's kind of around a corner. That works out fine. Spin that around. Let's get these 2 sides in here quickly. Just brush those in. There we go. Again, just using this just to darken things down, make it a bit better looking. And don't forget the top and the bottom. So get the top in here. There it is. And we'll get the bottom right down here. There we go. Okay, that's done. Let's now do the feet. So our visible parts, hide the body and just bring the legs in. Real quick, a bit darker in here. And spin this around. And we'll get these bits here. And the front. There we go. Bring the whole body back in again. And back out just a touch. Okay, so there's our basic coloration. There's a kind of a mean looking face on that one. Let's just now add in something on the body, make it a bit more interesting. So hide the head, and we'll hide all the legs. Get those out of the way. We can then zoom in a little bit on the body. And we're still looking at the front. If you're not sure about that, just bring the head back on, see that you're on the front, and then hide the head again so we know that this is the front of this image. And we'll go back to the light gray brush, and bring the width down to a 1 width on this. And let's do our scattering up here in the noise mode, and set the opacity clear to the top. That's better. And I'm going to do just some basic rib type things in here, just some real quick ones. Nothing dramatic on this. Just got to copy that over here, and then a little bit right down here, and right down here, and then one little spot there and there. And I'll pull those across the sides. There we go, and that should finish off our basic look in here. Just a little bit of rib effect. There we go. And then other side. And pull that across. There we are. And fill that in. And then these last two bits right here and then right there. And there we go. There's just some basic ribbing on that one. And let's bring our parts back in again. If you click on this button right here and click again, that brings the whole model back in. So there we go. Kind of a mean looking bit of a Skeletor look on this new Grim Creeper. So once you have your skin all painted in here, then you're ready to take this out, and you can either publish putting it up onto Planet Minecraft, but we want to actually download this skin and then use it in the game. But first I'm going to publish this up here. Click on Publish. Now to publish, you're going to have an account in here with Planet Minecraft. The accounts are free, so just go ahead and sign up for a free account. You can then publish your stuff up. Category is going to be scary. That's good. It calls from the Dark Grim Creeper. Yeah, darker version of my Grim Creeper. Good enough. You can write a longer description, but this is just here for an example. If somebody else helped, you can put that in down here. You can enter a tag. Put this in as Creeper. And let's do another tag in here. Grim Creeper, there's my tag right there. Allow comments. You can schedule your publishing if you want to, or go immediate. Just make sure everything is looking good in here. Okay, that all looks fine. And publish live. And there we go. There's that new creeper right there. There's my original Grim Creeper over here. And here's a new one that we just did. Looking fine. Let's now go ahead and edit this again. We'll go back to edit. Right here where it says PMC Skin 3D, click on that. And it takes you back in. That's unsaved progress. Let's go ahead and we're going to choose save on that. Choose yes. And we're now back to edit mode. Okay, we now need to download this to our computer so we can use it in the game. Go to File, come down to Save to File. And whenever I'm working on any project, I have a folder here I call Pack. I have a basic resource pack set up in here. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But the main thing is you want to just save this to a location you can easily find. And choose Save. Let's now go ahead and finish this project up and put this into the game. And here we are on my desktop, and we're in my Pack folder. Again, this is just a new folder that I made, and I just saved this skin right here into that folder. Now, these things are from the last pack I made in here. So if you have an existing pack, you can just add this to your existing pack. That's perfectly fine if you put it into the right location. If you go into Assets in here, Minecraft, Textures, it'll go into an Entity folder right here, and then into a Creeper folder inside of that one. If you don't have that, let me show you how you can actually build this pack. So I'm going to delete these two things. Now I have my own pack PNG here, a custom pack PNG, but I'll show you where to get the default pack PNG here in just a moment. If you have your own, that's fine. Now this can be anything you want. It's just a square picture. This is a little one at 16 by 16. You can go up to say 256 by 256 for more detail. That's all that is. Nothing special about that file. Now to get the files that we need here to build this, to build up and make our folders and so forth, I'm going to bring up the Minecraft launcher. Here we go. Go up into Installations and choose what you're working on. I'm going to be working in the latest release here, 119.4. In about a month or so, we'll be seeing 120, but right now we're still at 119.4, so I'll be using this one. Come over here, click on that folder icon. And that brings up the Minecraft folder right here. You can also get to this location actually right here. If you use that %, app data %, location up here. That takes you to this location, go inside of Minecraft. Same thing. Okay, let's come down to versions, which is right here. Go into versions, and then find the version that you're playing. We're in 1.19.4 right now, and that's right here. Now ignore all this other stuff, and then go inside of that folder. And here you're going to be seeing two files, a jar file and a JSON file. If you're only seeing one file, then you need to play the game once, at least as far as the title screen. That will then download the .jar in here. Now, if you don't see the .json and .jar, you need to show your file name extensions. I'm in Windows 11, go up here to View, come down to Show, and right there, your file name extensions. You'll then see those. If you're in Windows 10, just go up to the View tab at the top, and over right-hand side, click on File Name Extensions, put a check mark right there. Okay, you want that jar file. That's one that we need. And it's going to be going in right here. Just going to right drag it over here and copy. Don't move it, just copy it right there. Okay, let's close that down. We now need to open this thing up. What this actually is a zip file. But to open it up as a zip, you need to click into the name here, click it a second time. You can then type over that .jar and make it a .zip. Or if you right click in here and show more options, you can come down here, click on rename, same thing. And I'll just use my cursor keys to back over the .jar, and I'll retype that as .zip. Click outside and then choose yes right here. And it's now back to a zip folder. Let's now open this up, but I want to open this up in a new window so I can drag and drop from that window. So right click and let's open a new window right here. There we go, easy to use. Now right here is where you can find the default pack PNG if you don't have your own custom one. So just scroll way down and it's right there, pack PNG. This is that one that's kind of a grass block thing. So if you don't have your own custom, then just use this one right there. And then just drag and drop over here. I already have mine, so I'm not going to bother with that. Let's go back up here. Let's now go into Assets and into Minecraft. Come down here to Textures right there. Go into Textures. Go into Entity right here. And then here come down to Creeper, which is right there. And here are the two Creeper files, the Creeper PNG and the Creeper Armor PNG. And what you want is the Creeper PNG location, which is all of this stuff up here. We already have our file. And notice that the file name here is Creeper PNG. So we need to rename this file to just Creeper PNG. That's easy enough. Just click into the name a couple of times like that. And then backspace over the PMC bit. And that's now named the right thing. Okay, we now need to make our folders in here so we can actually put this into the right location. I'll put this right here. So we need all of these folders up here inside of this location. So go to New, Folder. First one's Assets. Into Assets and New Folder. This one is Minecraft. I'm just making these folders up here inside of Minecraft and New Folder. This one is Textures. There we go. Inside of Textures, New Folder. This one is Entity. Inside of Entity right here, New Folder. This one is Creeper. Okay, that's where our new skin goes. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to right click on this one and copy. This is the easy way to do it. There's our copy button. And let's go all the way in. And then right click and paste that right there. And there it is. There's our new skin. Okay, that's all set. We have the assets. We have our pack PNG. We need one more file in here. And you can close this down, get that out of the way. And if you're not making any more packs, you can delete this if you want to the zip file. I'm going to leave mine there because I want to do something else. But we need to have a pack.mcmeta file in here. That used to be included in the zip or in the jar file. It no longer is. So I just put that on my website so you can get to that. You can write your own, and I'll show you what that text is also on my website. Let me bring that up. And that's right here. I'll put this link in the description so you can click right to this page. If you want to write your own, there's the text for that right here. Now you can make the description anything you want to, and the pack format has to match your version of Minecraft. Right now we're in 1.19.4, and I have one already made here. I'm just going to download this. Just click on where it says zip, and we'll save this into our location. Same location right here. Choose Save. And we now have that file that's right here. Okay, we need to get this out of here. I'm just going to right click on this one and it's open in a new window. There we go. There's a file you want. Just drag and drop over here. And there it is. Okay, let's just close this down. You can delete that at this point. We no longer need that. And then we're going to edit this. Now I have mine opening up in Notepad++, which is the best editor I found for doing these files here in Minecraft. It's totally free. And I'll put a link for that in the description. Bring this up and here we go. The correct pack format number for 1.19.4 is 13 right now. 119.3 was 12. Don't ask me why they make these changes, but they do. Last I heard, Minecraft 120 is going to be number 14. That could change before it comes out. And then right here, change your description up here. I'll call this one Grim Creeper 2. And that's it. Choose save. And that file is done. That's all there is to it. We now can put this together into a new resource pack. And for that, grab your assets folder, hold the control key down, get that pack MC meta and your pack PNG. I'll right click and compress to zip file. Give it a name. I give it the same name. There we are. Now if you're in Windows 10, just go up to the Share tab up there and click on the zip button. Same exact thing. We can now put this in the game and test it out and see how it looks. So for that, I'll bring the launcher back up again. And we're still in the 119.4. Click on that folder button right here. And this time, we want to come down and find the Resource Packs folder, which is right there. There it is. Open this up. And that's where that pack goes. I'm going to put this right here. And here's our working folder. I'm going to right drag it over here and copy. There we go. Reason why I didn't just drag and drop is because I save all these in a separate folder just for future use. So that's now in the game and ready to go. Let's close this down. We're done with this and get that out of the way. We can now play this and see how that looks. We'll have to activate it in the game and see how it looks. Click on play. Let this load up. It's doing a little install right now, a little update. That's fine. And here I go at the title screen. I have a custom title screen. If you want to know how I did this, I'll put the links for those videos in the description. What we care about here is the options right there. And then resource packs. And left-hand side, there's our Grim Creeper 2 right there. Bring that over. It's now on the right-hand side. That's good. Choose done. And that's now in the game and activated. Choose done again. Single player. And we'll check this out here on my main world and see how this looks. Go ahead and we'll launch that. Okay, I'm down in a deep dark hole. That's fun. That's a good spot actually. We're testing this out. I'm in creative just to make this a bit easier. Let's find something that's just a little bit darker so we can actually get these things to spawn for us. And that's a nice dark spot right here. And let's grab a creeper egg. There we go. And there's our creeper spawn egg. And let's test this out. And there he is. Put some light around here so you can see that. And there's our new creeper skin right there. There we go. There's a few more of those creepers in here with our brand new mob skin. And if you want to help me continue making these videos here from Minecraft, why don't you consider sending me a thanks? And that's the button right down there below the bottom right-hand corner, right below the video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. That's going to really help out my channel a lot. And I'll see you next time.